usually I have like a mini rant at the beginning.
I always cut that.
You've been cutting it this entire time? Welcome back to another episode of Last Week in Comics, where we talk about what happened the last week in comics. My God, why does every book I read come out like the same week? Because I know like next week or like the week after that is going to be like a dud week. And like the previous week was really good because I made a clickbaity thumbnail. I'll probably do again, so sorry in advance. All the books this week were good, though, so as we always start the show off with, let's talk about the books I actually read this week. Starting off with the new #1 title, The Secret Six. I have been hyped for this book for a while. It's messy gay drama, the book. Essentially, it is following up after the events of Absolute Power, specifically regarding John Kent, Jay Nakamura, aka my #1 fave, We Stand Jay in this house, and Nia Null, aka Dreamer. I had to remember her name because I didn't watch the CW Supergirl show, unlike Stack.
How could you do that?
And also, fun fact for those who aren't as familiar with Dreamer, either because you don't read comics or you didn't watch Supergirl, a lot of Dreamer's stories are written by the actress who played her, Nicole Maines. And Secret Six is no exception, which is why I am very glad to say that they are letting her deal with the fall that she's had, or the fall that Dreamer's had recently with Absolute Power. Some of the events in that book are that Dreamer gets blackmailed by Amanda Waller to be a part of her new Suicide Squad. And essentially, Dreamer is accidentally involved with the killing of Jay Nakamura's mother and the essentially destruction of his home country. It's kind of great to put those two on a team together, especially when you have John as like this third force that's kind of balancing them out. The last couple of Pride specials and of course some Superman books, because Nia is from Supergirl. She premiered in John Kent's book, but you know they obviously have a deep friendship, and Nia sacrificed herself towards the end of Absolute Power to help save Superman. So you know her and John, like John's more willing to forgive her than Jay is, because Jay is a messy bitch, and don't you fucking forget it. Don't fuck with Jay Nakamura. Fuck you guys. I cannot express to you enough. I'm just, honestly with this book, I'm just so glad that Jay is no longer, like, his main source of writing isn't coming from Thomas Taylor. I love this man. I love Jay. Dreamer comes to John and Jay in their apartment and is like, hey, I had some dreams. Get it? I had some dreams. Amanda Waller is missing. She's been captured. I don't know by who, but usually my dreams are prophetic? Yeah, usually my dreams are prophetic, so we need to go check on her. And Jay's like, why the fuck would I help you? You killed my mom. You're not really. She wasn't directly responsible. I like that they're making Jay a little angry ball of energy. Anyway, so they go to the prison, meet up with the next member of the Secret Six that we see, which is Black Alice. Honestly, okay, I don't know what Black Alice's deal is, but she's got something flirty going on with Dreamer. And honestly, I want to see the messiest gay thing I could possibly get from DC. Like, okay, you have Black Alice and Dreamer flirting, then you have John constantly defending Dreamer, which is getting on the nerves of Jay, and then I haven't even gotten to Catman and Deadshot, who just show up at the end of the issue. I just need all this messy drama to culminate. This book is great. I love what it's setting up. I love how we're getting more depth into Dreamer, we're getting more depth into Jay, we're getting an angrier version of John. Like, he opens the book, like, trying to, like, deal with the fact that, like, something traumatic has happened to him, but he still needs to be Superman's son. And I think that the Secret Six is, like, a perfect team for him to kind of, like, get some character development. Like a lot of character development. Back on the topic of messy gay drama. Because I know that it is a popular, like, it's a popular sort of thing going around with DC fans that they want Jay and John to break up. But here's the thing, and I think a lot of people forget this. If they do break up, we will never get Jay in a book again. And I like Jay. I like Jay more than I do John Kent. He's a Lois Lane stan. He's an agent of chaos. He's a messy bitch, and I love him. If we do break Jay and John up, more likely than not, we'll never see Jay again. And also, John might never be in Pride specials again. Like, that's kind of like the double-edged sword with queer characters at DC. If it's not constantly happening, or they're not constantly getting a queer writer, they will just disappear off the face of the planet. Which is why, love you, Nicole Maines. Thank you for this. You are killing it as a comic book writer. I'm shocked. Nicole Maines is my favorite, superhero actress to comic book writer pipeline, okay? She's my favorite one.
How could you do that?
Iman Vellani has personally burned me. I don't think that it would be a bad idea. Well, it is kind of a bad idea to break up Jay and John. But as long as they do it and they get back together before the end of the book, we're still safe. So, like, Nicole, please play into this messy plot line. I know that my editor / girlfriend / Stack the Deck, I know that he's been, like, pushing for, like, hey, they should all be in, like, a messy polycule together, and I fully support that.
Usually I'd make this, like, an editor's note JPEG, but hello? I haven't pushed shit. Secret 6 is on issue 1. I haven't talked about it publicly. And privately, I've not said the word polycule. Perceived emotional cheating does not a polycule make. I want John to break up with Jay and get with Dreamer, and then maybe get back with Jay at the end of the book. I don't care.
I think that that's the funnest option. Bring Black Alice in there, too. Catman and Deadshot, go have your, like, messy gay midlife crisis. Okay? I need this to be the most queer and most messy book that DC has ever published. And I'm really hopeful. I'm really hopeful for this, because I know, like, you know, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy have an open relationship, but, like, it's kind of like a passive thing so that offices don't have to communicate as much. But, like, Nicole, you see me. I see you. Please. I know that most of this book is probably already written. I don't know if it's out of 6 or out of 12, but I do think that they're still doing the usual, hey, if this book sells well, we'll double its ongoing. Regardless, let them be messy. Please. Please, DC. This is the most queers you have put in a single book since fucking Pride. I better see the messiest the messiest shit possible. Whole lot of mess, whole lot of drama. Speaking about messy gays, another issue of Batgirl also came out this week. And this has got to, I already talked about this on shorts on TikTok, wherever you follow me. But this has got to be probably the best issue of Batgirl we've gotten since Batgirl 2000. Or that best issue of specifically Cassandra Cain's Batgirl. So this issue delves a lot in. I'm not going to describe it well. I'm just going to say that right out the gate. I need you to read this. Like, if you have genuinely, even the slightest bit considered picking up Batgirl, start it now. Because this is, like, hands down one of the best single issues I've read. Just the subtlety of it and how Cassandra's kind of grappling with her emotions and, you know, what's happened to her and the abuse she faced, while also the neglect of her mother. It goes fucking hard. And for Stephcast Nation, a third Stephanie dream hallucination has hit the towers.
Lyle, wake up! You gotta wake up, please!
Lyle, turn on the TV! They hit the Pentagon! They hit the fucking Pentagon!
Like, during this, like, whole emotional crisis, yet again, Stephanie Brown is helping guide Cassandra through this in dream form. Which, like, DC, if you don't confirm Cassandra as any form of queer soon, I'll do it myself. I mean, I already have. She's a lesbian. I have a lesbian cast sticker on my laptop. Come on. At this point, this is the third dream sequence, Stephanie. And it's, like, crazy because when Cass is kind of going into this dream sequence, a lot of people pointed out that, like, the middle panel is actually a redraw of a scene from Batgirl 2000. I think most of these actually are redraws. Either from Batgirl 2000 or I think it might be Rebirth, whenever she was orphan. It's just kind of crazy how much care and consideration the series has taken into not just Cassandra Cain, but also Lady Shiva. Especially given the other option we have at DC. Anyone who is a fan of Cassandra Cain knows about the panel where she's like a little girl and she has like ripped out like a man's heart and is just holding it sad. But they kind of did like, they didn't recreate it like they did some of the other panels because like during this entire dream sequence, David Cain is more like a shadowy figure like looming over Cassandra, which makes sense. That was ingenious work right there. But they specifically have this panel where she's, like, hugging her younger self in, like, that pink dress. And I wish that this panel would have gotten blown up a little bit and been, like, a full thing. It's such a like, monumental panel for Cassandra that I wish it was just bigger. Which is insane work, because I think that the paneling on this in this book is amazing. Especially this issue. Like, her... God, at the beginning when she's, like, going through the city and, like, silently, like, sneaking around and just everything about this book is amazing. I need everyone to read this book. I need everyone to pick up Batgirl 2024. It's hands down the best Cassandra solo we've gotten in a while. And for those of you who have been reading it, either because of my recommendation or maybe you just picked it up on your own, I highly recommend your follow-up be Batgirl 2000, Cassandra Cain's first solo story. I will warn you, there is some weird coloring in it, because it's the 2000s, and unfortunately, the big two companies just did not know how to color Asian people for the longest fucking time. But it's still a fantastic read. Sometimes as a comic book fan of color, you just kind of learn to accept sometimes. You just kind of learn to accept that older comics just don't know what your skin color is. Also, did Steph die at the end of Batgirls? Like, I bought that entire series. I was the only reason that it lasted 19 issues. Is she dead again? Comment down below. Is Stephanie Brown dead? Because although I bought all of Batgirls, I didn't read it. I read like halfway through. Is she dead again? Did they fucking kill her again? The Cassandra train keeps on going. We also got a new issue of Birds of Prey number 19. This arc was very short. Like, so, essentially in this, I guess, with the connecting covers, it was only supposed to be 2 parts, issue 18 and 19, that kind of have 2 stories going on at the same time. You have the A story with Dinah and Sin, and these people who are coming to kidnap Sin because of her, like, evil secondary side, which I'll wrap up that storyline first before we get into the Barda and Cass story, which is the one I find more important. Essentially, Dinah gets shot during this giant battle, and Megara, who is kind of like Sin's, like, powers manifesting into, like, an evil being, she comes out, she's like, fuck you guys, don't fucking hurt my sister. I'm gonna fuck you up if you do. I think that's a pretty accurate recreation. And they're still alluding to the fact that, like, someone's gonna be after Sin for her powers. Like, you have Barda and Cass on a book. I'm gonna care more about their plotline. During issue 18, they started to help Constantine, transport a demon into some dimension. I called it, like, the fourth wall because, like, the paneling in this section specifically is very, like, amazing. Like, I feel like I'm not getting it fully because I don't have, like, a physical copy with me here. I've been reading the digital copies, and so like all the panels are like slanted, like you're kind of looking at the comic book from like an angle, and I just find it so interesting. It's such ingenious paneling. The art in Birds of Prey has been amazing from the beginning. Like, I would recommend some of these issues just for the art alone, specifically the one with Wonder Woman on the cover. I forget which issue it is specifically, because if you're not Wyatt Wingfoot, I don't memorize your issue numbers. But, so they do help Constantine transport this demon. It does try and trick Cassandra a little bit, and I like Kelly Thompson, I love you. Cassandra almost immediately knew that it was still the demon trying to trick them, because, like, point blank, she does ask, like, hey, what'd you say to me when we were trying to get out of Spirit World, huh? What'd you say then? And, of course, the demon doesn't know. But, like, even, like, the body language, I kind of noticed that it was a little bit different when it was Constantine versus this demon possessing his body. And I feel like Cassandra kind of picked up on that, too, because she didn't fall for it a single time. And I just like little touches like that. Cassandra Cain can read body language. Overall, I think that the Barda and Cass story was really cute. It was really sweet. I need them to team up more. Like we are 19 issues deep at this point. They've been teasing a Barda and Cass team up. Like, they have always been, like, the two closest members of the Birds of Prey, which makes complete sense given their backstories. And, like, just in general, I have been asking for more Barda from multiple books now at this point. Where's my Barda and Cass story? Because it seems like, with the end of this issue, it seems like we're going back more into, oh, let's deal with Sin Lance's business. And I get it. Kelly Thompson is very good at writing female characters interacting. She was really good at it in Captain Marvel. She's been really good at it with Absolute Wonder Woman. Barda and Cass story, please, because I know, like, the big end finale of the series is gonna have to be something with Sin. You know, we still got a while until then. This book's selling really well. You have made great favors with DC with Absolute Wonder Woman. Barda and Cass story. Now, this is a segment that I want you to add in earlier. Although, I will say there is one highlight from Diana and Sin's story, and that's that we got Barbara back with, like, the Oracle mask and, like, using drones to attack people. Oracle, I miss you so much. I do think that Kelly Thompson, at least from what it looks like, is one of the writers who wants to essentially put Babs back in the wheelchair, wants her to be Oracle again. She has done great strides into making her Oracle again, but again, DC editorial, get your shit together, make Babs Oracle again, like real Oracle, not the fucking chip implant. Bring back disabilities in comics. There's not many characters who get to keep theirs. So make Babs one of them again. And then in book that I should be keeping up with, but I lost it, probably because there's no Stargirl in it, but I hear rumblings online. JSA number 5 also came out this week. The big thing I heard online, at least, and it kind of makes me want to jump back in, which I have to catch up an issue. This is the realistic thing about reading comics. Sometimes you just lose a series by accident, but you keep on buying it because you want to get back into it eventually. And by eventually, I mean JSA, I will start covering you in full if you put Courtney Whitmore back on the team. Where is Stargirl? I miss her. I know that she's probably not going to be in much because Jeff Johns left, but, like, Warner Brothers already burned the CW Stargirl suits. It is hard being a Stargirl fan right now. The big thing is that allegedly someone in the JSA is going to die. And I remember one of my mutuals, I think it was one of my Hawk mutuals, but they posted this picture of, like, Jay, Alan, Wildcat, the old Doctor, I forget the fourth old man who was there, and then Khalid, who is the current Dr. Fate. I know Khalid's not gonna die, because that would be stupid. And if DC kills Khalid, I will go after them. You leave that Muslim boy alone. It is Ramadan. You leave him alone. And then we got 2 Eids, so you gotta leave him alone for longer. Quite honestly, my money's either on Jay. No, my money's either on Jay or Wildcat. Especially because, like, I know that next issue, they are doing a, like, Wildcats variant where it has, like, the older one, Ted, and then the younger one, who's a girl. Quite honestly, again, I'm really only into the JSA for Stargirl. But they are having that cover next month, so honestly, it's gonna be Wildcat. They're always about to kill him off all the time. They'd take him out pretty easily. He's old. He's old and he doesn't have the superpowers to keep him alive like Jay and Alan do. But yeah, again, the series seems to be pleasing the JSA fans. Unfortunately, again, more of a Stargirl fan than anything. Stack, you got any opinions on JSA? Speaking of gay JSA news, the JS gays, as I like to call them, they also did release the Pride 2025 cover. It's like Alan and then like all of the other queer characters are like in his cape. And like, on one hand, why is Alan taking up so much of the space? But also, on the other hand, I saw some people pointing out how it could also be, like, representative of him being not the first gay superhero at DC. I don't think he holds that title. But the first one, timeline-wise, in DC. Kind of protecting the younger ones. And I think that's really sweet. I just think that maybe they shouldn't be so scrunched up in his cape. They're gonna get too warm. Pride comes out in June. JSA's been pretty solid. I'm glad that we have so many solid books at DC. Like, maybe it's not, like, the greatest thing every single month, but it's still pretty good. It's gonna be a well-looked-back-on run in a few years, and I think that's how comics stay in the public interest, you know? Alright, now we're moving on to the books I haven't read, because I can't read everything. We got another issue of Poison Ivy number 31. I lost track of this book like 2 years ago. It's been going pretty solid and strong, though. Like a nice tree. G. Willow Wilson's been hitting it out of the park every single time. Anytime I hear something bad about any other of the other 2 Gotham City Sirens, I then turn back and, like, Poison Ivy fans are absolutely, like, living it up with G. Willow Wilson writing the book. It's great to see. It's great to see G. Willow Wilson getting more work in general. This is also your reminder because I forget what the title is of one of G. Willow Wilson's indie books. But it's your reminder that if you like a comic book writer or artist from the big 2, more likely than not, they have an indie book. They have some sort of indie project that they are working on. If you just Google their name and Google indie, or, well, really just indie, or IDW, or Image, or Dark Horse, or Boom, or whatever the other one is, if you just type that in at the end, you can find books that not only more directly support them, but are probably better than the stuff that they're writing at Marvel and DC, because it's a lot more freeform. And by freeform, I mean you don't have editorial breathing down your necks. I was about to make another dig at Akira Yoshida. I can't keep doing this. Also, weirdly enough, despite the fact that Teen Titans Go has ended, Teen Titans Go number 1 is happening. Or I think Teen Titans Go ended. I'm not sure. I was in the target age demographic for that show when it came out. I'm 23 now. I remember when, like, the Teen Titans shorts that predated the series that were so popular that they're the reason that the series was made, you know, the ones that were the bumpers for, like, Young Justice and Green Lantern, the animated series. I remember when those premiered. That's how fucking old I am. That's how long Teen Titans Go has been going on. I need us as a society to be free from Titans 03. I don't like them. I never have, never will. But yeah, I guess they're getting comics. If you want to get your kid into comics, buy them some of the, I do think that is a kid's book, so buy your kids Teen Titans Go if they like Teen Titans Go the series. Buy your kids more comics. Overall, promote your kids' reading. Okay, next on my list, The Nice House by the Sea, number 6. If you are looking for, like, an indie-esque book, or just something to kind of bring you more into the indie space, but your local comic book shop doesn't stock as many indies as you would like them to, first up, tell your local comic book shop, stock more indies. No, I don't care if it's even the trades, just put more of them in there. But Nice House by the Sea by DC Comics is a good start if you want to start dipping your toes into indie books. I do believe it's under the Vertigo line, so it is going to be a little bit darker than what you typically expect from DC, but I've been hearing it's pretty good. I'm not a fan of horror, though, so it's... Oh, and then, as always, we have now gotten to our first Batman book. This is actually the only Batman title that has released this week. Batman Full Moon. Fuck, I guess Batman's a werewolf now. I don't like horror books. I don't like horror books. I don't like Batman, but it's gonna appeal to someone. So if you want to see Batman with werewolves, Batman Full Moon. Issue 4 just came out. I'm pretty sure that this is a limited series or a mini series. So more likely than not, if you don't want to pick up the single issues, a trade will be coming out soon. They tend to put out trades pretty fast, especially for minis. Speaking of another mini, Justice League, The Atom Project number 3 came out. I do know that my Captain Atom friends, mutuals, my Captain Atom mutuals were a little bit upset with this one. Just because it seems like there's this huge trend at DC about getting Captain Atom's history wrong. Makes sense. Jenny Sparks just happened, but I don't know. I also didn't hear that Dr. Light, we haven't seen Dr. Light since issue 1, and that was, the main driving force of me wanting to read it. But I do think that it's still, a fun, science romp, especially, because it seems like they're setting up kind of resetting everyone's powers in it. If you're enjoying Justice League Unlimited, you more likely than not will be enjoying the Atom Project. Personally, for me, I think that they should have split up Justice League Unlimited more like this. Maybe do, if they have, an important plot line that deserves its own book, you split it off into, a mini. I think that would be a good way to handle how much is happening in Justice League Unlimited. Alright, next on the list, Shazam issue 21. I think that this is maybe second to last issue, maybe last issue. If you didn't know, Shazam did get canceled, which is a little disappointing. I do think that we always just need a Shazam book. Shazam is one of the constants that should be constantly going, your Batmans and your Wonder Womans and your Supermans, he's one of the original heroes. I digress. I guess the run wasn't doing as well as they had hoped, or even as well as it was at the beginning under Mark Waid, which also Mark Waid in general is just a really good writer for Shazam. I think he does really well when you give him a lot of those older, 30s style heroes. I don't know, it's sad to see that. It's always sad to see a non-Batman book go. However, for Batman books, I cheer for their end. Speaking of Batman books, Two-Face number 4 came out. I think the big news surrounding this one was the fact that it brought Baby Doll, which was one of the Batman animated series exclusive villains, into the comics. I think Baby Doll's always been an interesting character and interesting design. So, alright, I guess. That's all I hear about Two-Face. That was, the most news I've ever heard about this series. It is also ending at issue 6. People were somehow shocked about this, although it is a mini-series, so I don't know how shocked that they could be. I don't know how shocked they could be. We all knew it was going to end after issue 6. Why would they give Two-Face an ongoing? They can't even give Wonder Woman, a good ongoing. Why would they give Two-Face an ongoing? Oh, and then we also seem to have gotten another children's book. I didn't know what it was at first. But it's called Harley Quinn's Bud and Lou Trouble Times 2, which is a nice book. It's a kid's book about Harley Quinn's 2 hyenas. Kids love dogs. It's a cute graphic novel. They're talking in it. Sometimes books aren't for me, and that's okay. You should learn that, white boys. I don't know. I think that if your kid likes dogs, you want to get them into comics, give him this, or give him Crypto by Ryan North, coming out in May, I think, or June. I forget, when the fuck is that book coming out? Pick up Crypto, the Super Dog by Ryan North, coming out during the summer of Superman. I'm going to be talking about that book so much, I don't think people realize it. I watched Crypto the Super Dog as a kid, and now you're telling me my best friend Ryan North is writing a Crypto story, and you expect me not to be, like, number one in line for it? I fucking love Crypto the Super Dog. Bring back Streaky the cat, too. I forgot they are. Sophie Campbell, I love you. Thank you. Thank you for bringing back Streaky. I miss the Super Pets. Not the Super Pets as in the new brand of Super Pets. I miss the Super Pets as in, like, the Superman pets. Like the monkey.
The monkey chain! The monkey's fist! The monkey!
Alright, now we're on to the segment where I tell you about the indie books that came out this week. And I just rant about them and how good I like some of the authors. And first up, from Image Comics, if you are a fan of the Boy Wonder series by Junie Ba just released a new indie comic called Monkey Meat.
The monkey!
I think Monkey Meat's kind of old. He released a new Monkey Meat. So this is Monkey Meat, the Summer Batch, #1. I just love Junie Ba's art style. I think it's just such an interesting... it pulls from so many interesting places. It's so visually appealing. I love it. And so if you really like the Boy Wonder, I highly recommend you check out Monkey Meat. Or just any of Junie Ba's other work. Again, remember, if you have a favorite writer or artist, just type their name into Google and look up indie afterwards. And you'll find an entire new world of comics that you've never explored before. Honestly, Image Comics has, like, a lot of books that sound very interesting to me. I will probably go back and read. Moon Man? The other one I'm looking at is Ultra Mega, which I don't know why. I did pull up the cover because I wanted to see, like, oh, is this like Ultraman?
That's the comic that Squid was talking about.
That was the comic that Squid was talking about?
On the live, like, a few weeks ago. The one with, like, the kaijus.
Ow.
I've been reading it. It's really good.
Okay, so this is what happens when I have work. I've just been told by my producer / girlfriend / editor / stack the deck. Apparently, our friend Squid has been talking about it because this is a giant kaiju book. Which, great. I love kaiju books.
That was our Nemesis episode 69.
That was Nemesis? The Nemesis? So if you want to hear Squid talk about it, because apparently I might have been just not paying attention. If you want to hear Squid talk about it, go watch our live show, Ash and Their Fantastic Friends. This is episode 69, the Nemesis takeover, where we let our moderator for our chat recommend us comics. But yeah, Ultra Mega, fucking kaijus, man. Fucking love kaijus. We're gonna get to more kaiju books in a second. Ooh, under Dark Horse, if you are a fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle universe, or specifically just Usagi no Jimbo, they did release a new #1, Usagi no Yojimbo, 10,000 Plums. Oh, from Dynamite, we actually got a lot of, I would call them like continuation comics, tie-in comics, based off of the Disney Afternoon. Well, it's Disney Afternoon and just in general, like, cartoons. Like, if you have, like, a favorite cartoon series, like Star Trek Lower Decks, or Adventure Time, or Thundercats by Dynamite, or Darkwing Duck by Dynamite, or DuckTales by Dynamite, or The Terminator by Dynamite, or Space Ghost by Dynamite, or The Powerpuff Girls by Dynamite, more likely than not, your favorite animated series will have some sort of, comic that continues the story for you. Because, again, as always, as I always say on this channel, animation and comic books go hand in hand. So it's great to know that, I know for Star Trek Lower Decks specifically, that one is published by IDW. But it's great to know that other indie publishers are getting kind of onto the trend. Speaking of IDW, another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle book, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Night Watcher #4. I don't know what fucking goes on in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles anymore. I'm gonna be completely honest. Didn't Mothra Queen of Monsters come out this week? So this is another book by IDW. It's called Mothra Queen of Monsters. It kind of is a continuation of a lot of the same themes that were in the original Mothra film. It's really fucking good. If you want a good introduction into Sophie Campbell, both as a writer and as a artist, before we dive into Supergirl this summer, Mothra Queen of Monsters. Mothra Queen of the Lesbians, more like it. The really fun thing about Mothra Queen of Monsters, specifically with Sophie Campbell's art, is that whenever they're doing like a magical girl-esque sequence, they switch to Sophie Campbell for the art, which is amazing. And I really hope that she brings that energy to Supergirl, because Lord knows Supergirl needs to be a magical girl. She practically already is. Make Supergirl more of a magical girl, please. Please and thank you. But yeah, also fun thing that IDW is doing, because I also just saw this because I was pulling up League of Comic Geeks to see if Mothra came out. But they also have this TMNT Best of Ray Fillet. I don't know who that is. But I do like that IDW kind of does like this Best of series, or like just like overarching series for like stuff like Godzilla and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I think Transformers too, where they just like highlight a certain character for an issue. I think it's fun. I think it's great. But yeah, that's it for another oh god, it's like 9. That's it for another episode of Last Week in Comics. Up here there's gonna be it's the next best recommended video for you. Maybe it's an episode of Ash and Their Fantastic Friends, my live show I do 9 p.m. Saturday, every Saturday, 9 p.m. EST on this channel. We talk about comics, we talk about indie things, we play Sonic sometimes, we play video games sometimes on there. It's really just a variety show, let's be honest here. But it might be an episode of that. It might be another episode of Last Week in Comics. It might be a YouTube short. I don't know what they put up there. They don't tell me. Maybe it's a Defunct Land episode. I watch those a lot. And then down here is going to be the rest of Last Week in Comics. If you want to find out what happened the past 4 months now, that's how long I've been doing this show. But if you want to find out what happened last week, or the week before that, or the week before that, or the week before, then go check it out down there. I promise you I'm insane, and I'm as insane in all of them. And then obviously right here, like, subscribe. I'm gonna start posting more. I keep on making this promise at the end of every episode. I promise you I'm working on my videos on how to get into collecting comics, where I am honest with you about how much comics are supposed to cost. Because let me tell you right fucking now, if you're paying over $200 for an issue from the 90s, you are fucking insane. That's going to be happening. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers before I release the Wyatt Wingfoot video essay, where I detail the entire history of Wyatt Wingfoot like an insane person, because what's all this research I did? What is its use if I cannot share it with people? So that's coming up. Just in general, more videos about comics, because the thesis of the channel is I need you to read more comics. I need you to support your local comic book shops. So subscribe. Also give me $5 if you have a specific video request. Support your local comic book shops. Read more indie books. And